It seems like every day now carries so much, but when they had one imam that was announcing the closure of the masjid, and he was asked by one of the congregants, when will we be able to go back to the masjid? He said, and he started to cry. There's definitely this sentiment of feeling deprived from the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, when that time comes, inshallah ta'ala, and we know that time will come, we don't know that we'll be there for that time, but we know that that time will come where the Masajid of Allah will reopen. All the khutbahs, all the halaqas, most of the lectures are going to be about, you didn't take full advantage of the masjid when it was open before. Now that you had your break, make sure that you take advantage of it, okay? But I actually want to seize on this point now, and I want to particularly point to a very fascinating person in Islamic history who isn't very well known, but the ayah of the Quran, مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ رِجَالٌ صَدَقُوا مَا عَاهَدُوا اللَّهَ عَلَيْهِ فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ قَضَى نَحْبَهُ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَنْتَظِرُ وَمَا بَدَّلُوا تَبْدِيلًا, that from the believers are those who were truthful to the covenants they took with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some of them had a chance to fulfill their covenants, and some of them right away, and some of them were delayed in the opportunity to fulfill their covenant, but they never changed in their resolve. Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu says that this was revealed about the likes of his uncle Anas ibn Nadhar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So Anas ibn Nadhar missed the Battle of Badr, and he felt a great sense of deprivation for missing the Battle of Badr. And this wasn't something he said to the Prophet ﷺ once, or something that he just would say in passing, but he would constantly say that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives me another opportunity to fight alongside the Prophet ﷺ, then Allah will see what I will do. I will show Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what I will do. Meaning I will put my heart and soul into that opportunity, should that opportunity present itself to me again, since I missed it in the Battle of Badr. And this is something that he would carry with him to his ruku' and his sujood, to his prayers, to his supplications, that if I have another opportunity, if I have another chance to be alongside the Prophet ﷺ, then Allah will certainly see who I am and what I will do. And it's very easy to make that type of a comment when things are calm. And then obviously when the Battle of Uhud unfolded, and the enemies of the Prophet ﷺ came and outnumbered him as they always did, with the intention of mutilating them as they mutilated the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ, Hamza radiallahu ta'ala anhu. When that actually happened and people fled the Battle of Uhud, the majority fled Uhud after they were ambushed from behind. And I'm not going to go through the story of Uhud in detail right now, but when the archers came down disobeying the Prophet ﷺ, and they were ambushed from behind by the opposing army, and Anas ibn Nadhar sees the people fleeing away, he continued to run forward, and he continued to motivate others to keep on. And it was he who maintained that resilience, and he was one of those that was saying, do not retreat, and keep moving forward. He could have, as someone who'd never been in that situation before, said, I'm not doing this anymore, okay, this has gone too far. But the reality is that the sincerity that he had and the conditioning that he had all that time when he was deprived is what made him take full advantage of the opportunity. That he was preparing himself for that moment, when that moment would come, for a very, very long time. And so for us, right now, with the masjid being taken away from us, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to return to his houses, we should be thinking from now on a regular basis, longing for that moment, not to debate the fiqh of it, not to debate the jurisprudence. It's not going to do any good for us to sit there and look at timelines, but to say, when the masjid reopens, here's how my commitment to it is going to change. Here's what I'm going to do different. If I was slacking off with my daily prayers, if I was slacking off with missing out the halaqas because I could just watch them online, but now we're missing the full barakah of the masjid, right? The blessing of the masjid. So what changes when it reopens to us? And so instead of obsessing over when the houses of Allah will reopen to us, let's obsess over whether our hearts are open to Allah right now. so that when those houses are reopened to us, our longing hearts will do right by them this time around. And no one could have possibly been doing enough. So even if you were a regular in the masjid, you could be more regular. You could bring more to the masjid as a volunteer, perhaps. Right now, any one of us, and I'll end on this point, any one of us could, would long just for the opportunity to go to the masjid just to clean it up, right? If someone said, we're going to invite 3-4 people to come to the masjid just to clean it up, to disinfect it, just for the sake of getting inside there, would just be, I just want to get there, right? So long for it, love it, so that when the house of Allah opens to you again, your heart would have already been open to Him. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to see that moment together. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep our hearts in a condition where He is always in our hearts, whether we are in His houses or not. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to be connected to Him, no matter how socially or physically distanced we are from everyone else. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to always be amongst those that are brought close to Him and brought close to Him in the hereafter. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to find closeness with each other in these times. And I love the words alone together. So may Allah allow us to be alone together right now, and comfort one another and love one another for His sake. And especially serve those that are most vulnerable right now in our communities. Allahumma ameen.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Hope this video was helpful for you. This may help others too, so please consider sharing, and we will bring more videos in the future, inshallah. So consider subscribing and you won't miss any. Jazakallahu khairan.